Thank you for your interest in becoming a DC Public Schools School Program Provider, also known as an SPP. This video outlines the required steps all SPPs must complete before programming can begin. Please watch this video in full before beginning your application. This process is designed for organizations looking to become DCPS School Program Providers. So what is a School Program Provider? DCPS defines an SPP as an organization that provides its own programming to DCPS students, works with students 3 or more times per school year, and is not a health or mental health provider. Please note that groups that provide health services or screenings must go through a separate application process with DCPS's school mental health or health services teams. If you do not meet this criteria, please do not complete this application. Some examples of school program providers include tutoring programs, mentoring programs, dance class providers, aftercare providers, and other enrichment providers. Some examples of what would not be considered a school program provider are field trip opportunities, volunteer groups, dental health providers, and curriculum vendors. Because SPPs work so closely with our students, there are policies and procedures they must follow to protect our students, partners, and the district. There are 6 steps SPPs must complete before programming begins. The first step is to complete your registration in the Partnerships database. If you haven't already, identify a school or relevant central services content team who is interested in partnering with your organization. After identifying a DCPS partner, the next step is to obtain a formal agreement with the district. Before programming begins, you must ensure all staff and volunteers are cleared through DCPS's clearance process and you've obtained a facilities use agreement to operate in the school if you're providing programming outside of regular school hours. Lastly, if you're providing free programming, you will need to register your donated services with the district. We will go through each of these steps in more detail in this video. We rely on schools and our providers to ensure all steps are complete before programming begins. Now let's dig a little bit deeper into each of these 6 steps. Step 1. Register as a school program provider. Before an SPP can work with DCPS, they must register in the Partnerships database. This allows you to share information with schools about what type of programming you offer, while also confirming that your organization is aligned with our DCPS priorities and that you are aware of our policies and procedures before moving forward with the partnership. Additionally, this is how we collect contact information for our partners to communicate key updates from our office through email and our newsletter. Prospective SPPs must register online through our DCPS Partnerships database. Applications are typically reviewed monthly and registration must be reconfirmed annually in order to stay an active partner. We will send reminders to the points of contact listed in your partner profile when it is time to re-register. Step 2. Partner with a school or central services team. If you haven't already identified a school or central services content team interested in your programming, here are some tips. Reach out to a school that is in your neighborhood. One of the best connections you can make with a school is to show your connection to the community. Email principals and schools with whom you are interested in partnering to discuss your program and its benefits to students. Reach out to the partnerships team to see if there are any specific needs that your programming may address. Contact the relevant central services team and demonstrate how your program is aligned with DCPS's strategic priorities. For more guidance, including contact information for our schools and our school partnership toolkit, visit the DCPS Partnerships website. Step 3. Obtain a formal agreement with DCPS. Next, you will need to secure a DCPS Partnerships agreement. Agreements formalize important aspects of your organization's partnership with DCPS. Once your registration is approved, you will receive an email outlining your next steps. The partnership agreement will either be a Memorandum of Agreement, or MOA, or a purchase order, or PO, and/or a contract depending on your organization's fee structure. If you do not charge DCPS directly, you must obtain a Memorandum of Agreement, or MOA. This is required even if your program is being paid for by the PTO or PTA, or if your program charges families directly. MOAs are agreements between DCPS and the school program provider and must be signed by the DCPS chancellor. School principals cannot sign MOAs. MOAs include insurance requirements determined by the DC Office of Risk Management that organizations must fulfill before finalizing the agreement. If you charge DCPS directly, you must obtain a purchase order. POs are typically managed by the school and issued by the Central Services Office of Contracts and Acquisitions. A valid purchase order must be in place before programming can begin. Partners cannot be paid for services rendered before a purchase order is in place. Requirements vary based on the cost of services. MOAs must be signed by the DCPS Chancellor, and purchase orders or contracts are issued by the DCPS Contracting Officer. Any agreement signed by a school principal will not be considered valid. Please note, the agreement process can take time. For MOAs, the process can take upwards of 90 days to complete, so please plan accordingly if you need a new MOA or need to renew your existing one. For more information on this step in the meantime, you can visit dcpspartnerships.com/agreements. Step 4. Have all staff and volunteers cleared by DCPS. Anyone working with students more than once a year must complete the DCPS clearance process prior to providing services. DCPS does not accept any clearances from any other jurisdiction or agency, including DCHR. Clearances are valid for 2 years. There are different screenings you'll need to complete depending on whether you are a paid contractor or volunteer. This chart outlines the requirements for both. For more details on completing the DCPS clearance process, visit dcpspartnerships.com/clearances. Step 5. Enter into a facilities use agreement with the Department of General Services if operating outside of regular school hours. If you are operating in a DCPS building or facility outside of normal school hours, you will need to obtain a facilities use agreement through the Realty Office at the Department of General Services. These applications must be signed by the principal and emailed to realty.applications@dc.gov at least 20 business days before use. Depending on several factors, SPPs may be charged fees for rent, security, and/or custodial overtime. For more information on submitting your facilities use agreement, visit dcpspartnerships.com/facilities use agreement. Step 6. Obtain an annual donation agreement if providing free programming. Organizations providing free programming to DCPS must go through the donations process as dictated by the Mayor's Office. To get started, submit information about your donation through our online donation agreement request form found at dcpspartnerships.com/donations. Once all necessary steps are complete, programming can begin. Use our partner preparedness checklist located on the resources page of our website to confirm you've checked off all requirements. Now that you understand the requirements to begin your partnership, we will go through how to register in the partnerships database, the first step to becoming an official SPP. If you aren't already in the application, navigate to the DCPS Partnerships database through the partnerships website. When starting your application, you will be asked to choose a unique partner ID. Please make note of this number so that you can access your partner profile moving forward. The application will ask you to complete basic information about your organization, contact information, programming details and logistics, and questions about the population you serve. Please complete this information in full. If you select that you'd like to be visible to schools in the database, your profile will be available for them to explore new partnerships. At the end of the application, you will be asked to confirm you agree with important DCPS policies and procedures. You will need to agree to all of these in order to complete your application. Once you are finished, please provide your digital signature and click Save for review by the DCPS Partnerships team. Once you've completed your registration, you can go back at any time to view and edit your partner profile. To do so, you can access the database through our website, click Current Partners, and log in with your partner ID. DCPS Partner Resources. The DCPS Partnerships team has several resources available at your disposal on our website to help you navigate this process, DCPS policies, and support a successful partnership with our schools. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team at dcps.partnerships@k12.dc.gov. Thank you for your interest in becoming a DCPS School Program Provider. We look forward to reviewing your application.